You'd think a company the size of Ubisoft would understand how to handle backlash, but that definitely isn't the case. And now we're finding out that Ubisoft has reportedly created an anti harassment plan for Assassin's Creed Shadows in collaboration with the Canadian government. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, this, of course, is a story with a lot of layers. Let's start off with an anti harassment plan. I understand that Ubisoft as a company feels that they have to protect their developers, and that is great. But on the flip side, we are talking about backlash on social media, a thing that you can turn off very easily. If you say something mean to me on social media and I get offended by it, I could just close the tab or close the application and just ignore it. And you'd think that that is what these people would be doing, but instead, it's like they want to kind of absorb that negativity and then find a way to use it against their haters. And clearly, that plan isn't working out well for them. But now, PC Games N is talking about this, saying according to a new report, Ubisoft has created an anti harassment plan to protect the development team. This comes in the wake of consistent backlash against the game from apparent anti-woke slash anti-DEI content creators, their followers, and some of the series player base. You could have just said some of the series player base because there are plenty of content creators like myself, for example, who have loved Assassin's Creed in the past and who are just disappointed with what we've seen. I think it is always so hilarious when they present it this way that, oh, we are the problem. No, the company is the problem with the content that they are creating. Now, of course, the reason why companies release teasers and trailers is to get people hyped and ultimately talking about a game. Now, yes, they want most of the feedback to be positive, but when you're releasing content early for people to judge whether they want to purchase it or not, I am also allowed to criticize it. That's also why I play these video games on my channel. Like, I'll be streaming Assassin's Creed Shadows because I think it's only fair that I've talked about it. I give it a chance because sometimes I'm wrong. I'm a human being. Maybe I've criticized this game for months leading up to launch and it's actually fantastic, but it is always you are the problem as the content creator, or you are the problem as the follower of one of these content creators like me, which is ridiculous. Since Assassin's Creed Shadows reveal, some have taken issue with its portrayal of the historical figure Yasuke, a samurai of African origin. The problem lies in the fact that he is a playable protagonist. If he was just an NPC in the game, that would be one thing, but because he is portrayed as this legendary samurai, which there's no historical evidence for, you also have choices in the game like romance, like LGBT romance options. Is there any evidence that Yasuke participated in these types of relationships? No. So therefore, it's historically inaccurate, and that upsets people. There have been plenty of Assassin's Creed games in the past that have not been super historically accurate, but they did not tout those games as being like a pillar of accuracy, when with this game, they said it was all about historical accuracy. That's why they're being so heavily criticized. It says, though, speaking to the French media outlet BFM TV, an anonymous Ubisoft employee claims that an anti harassment plan has been implemented that discourages developers from using social media. We're advised not to post on social media that we work at Ubisoft to avoid harassment, and the report claims that Ubisoft has collaborated with Canada's communications security establishment on the plan. So, of course, the sensitive snowflake company runs to an organization in the land of the sensitive snowflakes. It's an initiative from Canada. There's a team that monitors networks and acts quickly in the event of a targeted attack. Unlike what we've had before, this is serious. Reportedly, messages posted by internet users on X, Reddit, or even videos on YouTube will be closely monitored by a dedicated unit in order to respond quickly to the slightest problem. Hi, Ubisoft. Hope you're doing good. Lawyers are already ready to file complaints in the event of proven harassment. And a major problem with a lot of platforms is that they can say, oh, proven harassment, but there's no definition on that. It's not like they're saying what that entails. So me making this video could be deemed harassment by them. Me going on X and saying, oh, this company's stupid and all of their developers suck at their jobs, that could be seen as harassment. That that is a major problem. It's not like there's clear and concise guidelines here. They just don't care. They believe what they are doing is the best choice possible to protect their company, which I get, again, that they want to protect the people that work for them. But on the flip side, you would just think that at the end of the day, they would stop making the situation worse for themselves, because every time we hear something like this, oh, that there's an anti-harassment plan in place and they're working with a communications security establishment in Canada and they're going to sue people, internet users, whether they're on YouTube or X or they're just commenters, that makes them look even more ridiculous than they already do. I just don't think that at this point they really care about the way that they look. They just care about the fact that they're causing more like social media drama. So it's like more people are paying attention to them. But we have Pirate Nation posting about this and a lot of comments by people saying this is an absolute fucking joke. And by harass, they mean criticize. Gamers should collaborate with the Japanese government to combat Ubisoft's abuse. If Ubisoft wants protection from being dunked on, make a game that isn't slop next time. No one's abusing them. This is, as always, so they can shut down criticism, ridicule, and mockery. The problem is the Streisand effect, which, yes, will definitely happen. The harassment they're talking about is any form of criticism, deserved or otherwise. You cannot legally sue a customer for constructive criticism. They can sue them, but it's wrongful prosecution. Counter, can't imagine too many lawyers wanting to burn money on filings that will inevitably get tossed by judges as frivolous. I think that they have had this individual, now this is just a tinfoil hat theory, so I mean, don't quote me on this, but I feel like they had this anonymous source reach out to the press so that content creators might be too afraid to cover the game anymore. Because as a content creator, yeah, when I hear a company the size of Ubisoft is going to go after people, it freaks me out. It freaks out anybody on a platform where they are very vocal. But I feel like this is not going to work out for them. I think that this is just going to cause even more content creators to hammer away at them over the next couple of weeks leading up to release and of course afterwards. Suing millions of people, they better have a lot of money and a lot of lawyers, and clearly Ubisoft doesn't have this kind of money to just throw around, because they are apparently scrambling to make funds. Tencent is kind of closing in on trying to get this company in their grips. We know that they had just formed this new like gaming entity as they've scrambled for survival, and they're seeking outside investors amid their financial freefall. So they don't have a lot of options, and yet they're threatening to sue people, which just makes them look kind of absurd. So it will be interesting to see if they end up sending emails to content creators or if they try to issue like privacy complaints on platforms like YouTube. And I will be keeping my eye on this, and I definitely think we're going to be hearing more about this in the next few weeks. But for now, that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, and if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.